Thank you, everybody, for coming to the Aaron Torres podcast YouTube page. I do have one quick favor before we get to the video that you came here for, and that is very simply this. You see that little red subscribe button below this video? Go ahead, smash that subscribe button. It really does help me. It really does help this channel grow and my audience grow. So go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. And now, here is the video that you came here for. Didn't. But with that said, let's get to the winners of this year's college basketball transfer portal. First off, the number one winner is the guy that is seemingly a winner in the portal every year, and that is Eric Musselman in Nevada. This is a guy that has killed it in the portal since he got to college basketball. It's funny, I was watching the Miami Heat on, I guess it would have been Wednesday night. Cody Martin, who played for him at Nevada, is playing for the Miami Heat. Obviously, a couple other really successful transfer stories through the years at Arkansas since he's gotten there. But obviously, it also is important to note that next year it's going to be a little bit different because they have that super marquee number 2 ranked recruiting class coming to Arkansas. 6 top 100 players, 3 McDonald's All-Americans. So they could be a little bit more picky in the portal. But make no mistake, Eric Musselman went into the portal and got the guys that he wants. And really, as I look back on what Arkansas did, that is what continues to impress me about Coach Muss. He knows what he wants, and he goes and gets it. It was amazing to watch how quickly and how aggressive he was when he saw guys that he wanted. I looked it up. They had 4 transfers committed this spring by April 7th. That doesn't feel like it's that early, but here's the deal. The national championship game between Carolina and Kansas was on April 4th. By the end of that week, Arkansas had 4 different transfers committed, and here are the guys that they have coming in and the impact that they could have next year. The first guy was actually in many ways maybe the most interesting. Trevon Brazile, 7 points per game at Missouri. Doesn't sound as though that's a crazy productive freshman season, but this was a guy that was really under-recruited, really developed late, really came on strong as a freshman this past season, 15 points in an SEC tournament loss. And when he entered the portal, he had a lot of schools really interested. I know Kentucky was interested. He committed to Arkansas. And this is a guy that if you talk to NBA people, they say, look, he ain't there yet. He might not be there next year. But if all goes well, that guy could play in our league. Big, athletic, skilled, all that good stuff. So Trevon Brazile was the first guy they got. Then Jalen Graham, all Pac-12 forward from Arizona State. Really good from about 15 feet in. Really like what he's all about. And finally, not finally, but then they went out and got these 2 kids, Mikal and Makai Mitchell, who played at Rhode Island. Why are they important to me? I've said it before. Eric Musselman is a guy that if there's something that his team is lacking coming out of a season, he will immediately attack it in the portal or in the offseason. Last year, Arkansas did not have the rim protection that they needed. That got exposed. It really didn't get exposed until the Elite Eight where they played Duke and lost to Duke, in large part because of the success of Mark Williams. What does Eric Musselman do? He goes out and signs the Mitchell twins who played at the University of Rhode Island. 2 guys that really played very well last season. It's interesting because we got twins, but they kind of do different things. They each have their own strengths and weaknesses. Mikal Mitchell was the better offensive player, 11.6 rebounds per game, 2.5 blocks as well. Makai Mitchell, 9.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, so he's more of the energy hustle guy. The other one is the rebounder. And so I think Arkansas really beefed up its front court to go along with the talented backcourt players that they're bringing in via the high school ranks. Also worth noting, Arkansas did wrap the portal season about a week or so ago. I think it was 2 weeks, actually, at this point. Ricky Council, kind of a guard-forward hybrid kid who played at Wichita State, 12.5 points per game. This is another guy. I'm just telling you, I've talked to NBA people that are like, this dude can play in our league. Super athletic, super skilled, and I think it speaks to who Arkansas is going to be next year. I think they're the deepest team in college basketball. I think you can argue just in terms of future NBA prospects, they may be the most talented. Now, some of their high school players are one-and-done kids. Some of these transfers are probably 2-3-year players, but they got a lot of guys with NBA upside. So Arkansas, to me, is the obvious, clear, definitive no doubt about it, winner of the college basketball transfer portal. 5 players signed, 4 by April 7th, including an all Pac-12 forward in Jalen Graham, and 2 guys that I think have NBA futures for sure, Trevon Brazile from Missouri, Ricky Council from Wichita State, and then the Mitchell twins, who are going to provide that size and rim protection down low. Kind of worth noting, by the way, one thing with Arkansas before we move on to the other teams. I do think it's important to note that with all of these guys, they are at their 13-man scholarship limit. Because of it, Jalen Williams, who obviously was a great player on their back-to-back Elite Eight teams, feels as though he is probably going to stay in the draft, even though, as I record, nothing is official yet.